This is Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motor news and features TV and online magazine. I am Ray Louis Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for. On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the issues concerning House Bill 8070. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on what to do when one encounters a double solid yellow line. This week's Payo Chopper shall be about following the 3-second distance rule. Showcase this week shall have the van from Maxxis, the V80 Comfort. While for race weekend, we shall have the highlights of the Grupo Toyota's 20th anniversary meet.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's episode of Motoring Today. Join us.
Life comes at you fast. If you're brave enough, drive right back at it. Brave the big city or the great outdoors. Brave the carpool or the extra cargo. Brave the unexpected with Honda Sensing. Brave the long road with fuel efficiency to reach your destination. The all-new Honda BRV. Brave the next level.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. Marikina sought to restrict the practice of riding in tandem in its jurisdiction. The Court of Appeals rules such ordinances as unconstitutional.
The Court of Appeals has spoken with finality. In a resolution, the Court of Appeals has denied a motion for reconsideration filed by the Mandaluyong City Government of an CA earlier ruling that ordinances number 550, series of 2014, number 595, series of 2015, and number 694, series of 2018 as unconstitutional. The ordinances sought to prohibit motorcyclists from riding in tandem on streets of Mandaluyong City with the back rider is male and not a relative of the front rider. The ordinances aim to restrict the practice of riding in tandem to prevent criminal activities of riding in tandem perpetrators. Back in July 2020, a Mandaluyong City Regional Trial Court upheld the ordinances as lawful in a case filed by a motorcycle rider, Dino S. De Leon. The case was raised before the Court of Appeals, which is in a ruling in 2021 set aside the decision of the Mandaluyong City RTC, stating that the ordinances in question were unconstitutional and discriminatory both as to gender and as to the use of motorcycles as a mode of transportation. The CA explained that the ordinances arbitrarily limit the movement and mode of transportation of male back riders, even though there is no direct link or available statistical data presented to show that motorcycle riding criminals are males.
The CA has ruled that riding in tandem can't be restricted as to gender or the mere presumption that those who do are up to criminal activities. Perhaps, cities like Mandaluyong are better served by strictly enforcing laws and regulations meant to prevent entire families riding on a single motorcycle. Meanwhile, groups of vintage and classic car enthusiasts lobbied hard to get the Vintage Vehicle Regulations Act passed. One enthusiast is first to take advantage of the law.
In one of his last acts as chief of the LTO, J.R. Tugade oversaw the handover ceremony of the license plates for the first vintage vehicle registered under Republic Act 11698 or the Vintage Vehicle Regulations Act. During the handover ceremony, Tugade said that in implementing RA 11698, the LTO aimed to register roadworthy vintage vehicles while also encouraging owners to take greater responsibility for maintaining their vehicles in order to preserve their historical value. Dugari assured that the first vehicle registered under the vintage vehicle law satisfied all minimum requirements necessary to ensure its roadworthiness. The implementing rules and regulations for RA 11698 were published this year and was to begin to take effect in April of this year. RA 11698 defined vintage vehicles as those powered by an internal combustion engine, electricity, or a combination of both, or other means, that is at least 40 years old from the date of manufacture, and with its engine, chassis, steering assembly, and suspension assembly being either original or authentic. The law also allows vintage cars to be registered with the LTO and used on roads without need to comply with such laws as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999 and the Seatbelt Use Act of the same year.
There is expectation that the first vintage vehicle to be registered will not be the last, and more will soon be reported. Continuing, the Japanese funding for Phase 2 of the rehabilitation of the MRT-3 will also benefit its linkage to the common station.
The Philippines and Japan have signed the exchange of notes for the 17.4 billion yen loan to finance the second phase of the MRT-3 rehabilitation. According to a Japanese embassy press statement, funding for the second phase of the MRT-3 rehabilitation project will not only cover the rail line's continued maintenance, but also the connection to the common station for passenger seamless transfer to the LTRT-1, MRT-7, and the Metro Manila subway. Japanese loans funded the rehabilitation of the rolling stock, railroad tracks, systems, and stations of the MRT-3, which deteriorated from a lack of proper maintenance, resulting in reduced capacity and frequent breakdowns. Drastic rehabilitations were carried out as part of Phase 1, restoring the line's safety, comfort, and high speed using Japanese knowledge and technology. The loan's terms and conditions include an interest rate of 0.1% per annum and a repayment period of 40 years, including a 10-year grace period.
Commuters are now benefiting from the Japanese-funded rehabilitation of the MRT-3, which has remarkably increased in capacity and efficiency. Continued Japanese funding should assure commuters of further improvements. And finally, the idea of raising speed limits and tollways have crossed the minds of many motorists, including perhaps a congressman.
First District Representative Ronald Singson has filed House Bill 408, seeking, among other things, to raise the maximum speed limits on expressways to 120 kph for buses, trucks, and other large vehicles, and 140 kph for other vehicles like cars and SUVs. House Bill 408 is entitled An Act Providing for the Definition of Expressway and Setting a Speed Limit for Such Highway All Over the Country, amending for the purpose Republic Act No. 4136 as amended, otherwise known as the Land Transportation and Traffic Code. It also seeks to authorize the Department of Transportation to set the safe speed limit on sections of expressways that are either narrow or winding. According to published reports, a spokesman for the Toll Regulatory Board said the agency was open to discussion on increasing speed limits in expressways. The spokesman indicated that the TRB would be attending hearings and participating in deliberations on House Bill 408. Meanwhile, the spokesman said an audit is being conducted on the road conditions of expressways to ensure tollway operators are repairing or rehabilitating damaged sections.
Perhaps it would be a good idea for motorists, especially road safety advocates, to follow or even participate in public hearings on increasing the speed limits inside the tollways. And those are the latest developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. There's a bill filed in Congress seeking discounts on fees and other expenses for indigent PUV drivers seeking to secure professional driver's licenses. Motoring Forum discusses issues concerning House Bill 8070.
There seems to be no end to members of the House of Representatives seeking to ease the plight of poor public utility vehicle drivers. Davao City Rep. Paulo Duterte, Benguet Rep. Eric Yap, and ACT-CIS Party List Rep. Edvic Yap filed House Bill 8070 that seeks to provide subsidies and incentives to qualified indigent POV drivers for the processing of fees and charges of the required certificates and clearances for the release of their professional driver's licenses. In the bill's explanatory note, the principal author said public utility drivers play a critical role in the public transportation of the country. The authors also cited the government's PUV modernization program as a factor in why they are pushing for discounts on fees and the cost of meeting requirements for professional driver's licenses. They pointed out that the following implementation of the POVMP, the Land Transportation Office released Memorandum Circular 2021-22884, which enumerates the list of requirements for the applicants of a professional driver's license. However, the processing and release of the required documents impose certain fees that would burden the PUV drivers financially, especially those who live below the poverty line, they said. Tying the bill further to the PUVMP, the authors of the bill said that while the intention of the memorandum is to promote road safety and proper motorist behavior, such requirements would add to the burden of the PUV drivers who are now even tasked to buy modernized and climate-friendly vehicles under the PUV modernization program. To help out the indigent individual seeking to apply for a professional driver's license to operate a public utility vehicle as a means of a livelihood, the bill seeks to mandate a 20% discount in the payment of clearances, certificates, and fees required by the LTO in applying for a professional driver's licenses. These include birth certificate from the Philippine Statistics Authority, medical certificate from an LTO accredited clinic or physician, clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation, clearance from the Philippine National Police, enrollment fees for theoretical and practical courses given by LTO accredited and Technical Education and Skills Development Authority certified driving schools, examination fees, and other government-issued documents that the LTO may require. The bill also seeks to reduce the requirement that professional driver's license applicants need to be holders of a valid non-professional driver's license for at least 1 year down to 3 months. To ensure that only indigents benefit from the across-the-board of the discounts, the bill specified that only individuals whose per capita income falls below the official poverty threshold as defined by the government as identified and certified by the Philippine Statistics Authority. The bill also provides for penalties including a fine of not less than 5,000 pesos but not more than 20,000 pesos against government officials and employees who fail or refuse to provide the mandated discounts to qualified applicants for professional driver's licenses. Already, the PUV sector, operators and drivers alike have been getting millions in subsidies and incentives, especially during the recent COVID-19 pandemic. These include outright cash grants and soft loans for participating in the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. For decades, the PUV sector has been playing the poverty card and used it successfully to force the government to back down on or defer implementation of many policies and regulations meant to modernize and make mass transport more efficient, convenient, and safe. Again, the poverty card is played, but this time by members of the Congress. Many are questioning whether this bill will progress in the House or will find support among senators. Discounts will mean foregone revenues for government agencies in the form of fees. Also, some are questioning how this bill can effectively implement it and ensure only the truly indigent individuals looking to make driving PUVs their main means of livelihood benefit from the discounts.
Making it easier and more inexpensive for the poor and the indigent to become professional drivers of public utility vehicles is a noble objective. But will this lead to safer, more efficient, and disciplined drivers of PUVs? That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
At the core of Toyota Gazoo racing lies motorsports DNA. Combine that with the Philippines' best-selling sedan, you get the Vios GRS. Its black accent details and aero kit upgrade capture the feel and excitement on the track, and the 10-speed CVT that exudes the TGR competitive spirit. On the road or on the track, always be ready for a heart-racing, exhilarating ride. The Vios GRS. Bring on the thrill.
You're back with us here on Motoring Today, and we now have this week's important motoring tips, starting off with some road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines. As seen on the animation, you should always keep right while flying on roads with double solid yellow lines or else maaari kang maaksidente. Kadalasang makita ang double solid yellow line sa mga tulay at mga blind curves. If you are on a double solid yellow line, huwag mag-overtake or mag-counterflow. Stay on your lane to ensure safety. Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. Here's Buying Choper this week.
Payong tsuper lang, kaibigan. Ako si Rodrigo, isang kapwa niyo tsuper. Siguraduhin may sapat na espasyo pagitan ng inyong sasakyan at nasa inyong harapan sa tuwing namamasada.
Maaari mo itong gawin sa pamamagitan ng pagsunod sa 3-second rule, kung saan ikaw ay maglalaan ng 3 seconds of space sa pagitan mo at ng sasakyan sa iyong harapan. Humanap ng palatandaan sa gilid ng kalsada. Kapag nakita mong nakalampas na dito ang sinusundang sasakyan, saka ka umabante at sumunod.
Tandaan sa pamamagitan ng pagsusunod sa 3-second rules, maiiwasan ang gitgitan sa kalsada. Ito po si Rodrigo Apas, payong tsuper lang, kaibigan, mula sa isang kapwa nyo tsuper.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsport is next.
In motorsports news, Richard Gallardo again topped the overall category in round 5 of the 2023 Philippine Autocross Championship Series with a total time of 1 minute and 23.97 seconds. Coming in a very close second overall was novice driver Jose Carlo Ocampo, who recorded a total time of 1 minute 23.98 seconds, which was the fastest in the novice category. Third overall was Nat Mendoza, who clocked it with a 1 minute 26.51 seconds driving a stock 1300 Toyota Vios. Arnold Javier came second to Jose Carlo Ocampo in the overall novice category after setting a total time of 1 minute and 28.78 seconds, followed closely in third by Glenn Del Cuento with a 1 minute and 29.49 seconds. Jen Colina was quickest in the open category, clocking in a time of 1 minute and 23.65 seconds, with Don Pablo Abasidio finishing second and Glenn Del Cuento in third. Also held on the same night of round 5 at the Park Links in C5 Pasig was round 4 of the DBS category, which was topped by Nat Mendoza with a time of 1 minute 28.31 seconds. Second was Arnold Javier with 1 minute 29.25 seconds, with Jose Paulo Ocampo in third with 1 minute 30.25 seconds. In other motorsports news, round 2 of the 2023 Rally Sprint Series saw teams, drivers, and co-drivers back at the Subic Bay Freeport Zone for more exciting full tarmac rally action. At the end of 10 special stages and a total rally distance of 98.78 kilometers, the team of C. Calica and R. Martinez in the number 20 Honda Jazz topped the RS1 category. The number 12 Toyota Corolla of JNP Baranachea came in second, and the number 13 Toyota Vios of J. Santiago and E. Panahon was third. The tandem of Cody Nang and Johan C. in the number 3 BMW E36 ruled the RS2 class, with D. Santos and T. Galang in the number 6 Honda Civic in second, and VJ Nadal and M. Ramiscal in the number 18 Toyota Vios coming in third. In the RS3 class, it was John and Luis Camos in the number 7 Toyota Vios that landed on top with the tandem of Raul Asuncion and Ada Victor in second, on board the number 14 Proton Wira, and A. Gonzalez and E. Abela in third in the number 16 Mitsubishi Lancer. Both De Mapilis and Alex Lau on board the number 2 Honda Civic was quickest in the RS4 class, dropping R. Montellibano and N. Juarez in the number 3 Toyota Corolla down to second, ahead of the number 9 BMW E46 of M. and D. Dalan in third. The team of Ivan Isada and H. Ben Consejo in the number 10 RAV4 rolled the RSW category, while the tandem of Matt Nang and Nixon Bolliosos on board the number 1 Toyota RAV4 topped the RS Open class.
Finally, in motoring news, Ronaldo Mojica recorded a hat-trick, topping qualifying and winning races 1 and 2 in the Historic Mini Racers Philippines or HMRP group of the Clubman Racing Series held last April 30 at the Batangas Racing Circuit. Coming in second in Heat 1 of the race of period-correct Mini Coopers was Ricardo De Castro, with Miguel Salas, who was second fastest during qualifying, finishing third. Paulie Victoria took the second spot of the podium for race 2, dropping Ricardo De Castro down to second. Miguel Salas was a DNF in the second heat. In the ETCCPH, or European Touring Car Championship Philippines, a race composed of European cars, Mike Gunzenheim ran away with race 1, crossing the finish line more than 15 seconds ahead of Patrick Hesse, who edged out Henedel Toledo in third. Henedel Toledo, who set the fastest time during qualifying, piped Mike Gunzenheim in race 2 by 197 thousandths of a second to finish himself on top of the podium. Patrick Hesse crossed the finish line in third around 20 seconds after the top two finishers. Angelo Magtoto topped qualifying in race 1 of the SLTD, or Sick Leave Track Days group, which is composed of Doggy Battle veterans stepping up into grid racing. Andre Tan and James Ong joined Magtoto on the podium, second and third respectively, with just around 1 second separating them at the end of race 1. Andre Tan again piped James Ong to win race 2 with less than half a second between them. Angelo Magtoto finished in third within a second of the two leaders. The Clubman Racing Series, which caters to amateur racers, is held on day 2 of Full Throttle Weekend and will return to BRC on July 15 to 16.
More on the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we now give you Race Weekend. Race Weekend takes a break from actual races to feature Grupo Toyota's 20th anniversary meet, held last May 6 at the Blue Bay Walk in Pasay City. It is also a meet of race enthusiasts. We are here in Blue Bay Walk in Macapagal for a different kind of event. This time with a collection of car enthusiasts and motorsports enthusiasts. Let's go check them out.
At Blue Bay Walk, who is our regular venue partner for a lot of our events. Thank you, Federal Land, for this. You know, the club is, of course, 20 years old, which is very rare for a car club in the Philippines. We're very thankful that the group has stayed, strong throughout the years. And I think one of the things that we're most proud of is the fact that we have always kept our values that, we started the club with. The club started literally with, a dozen friends who said, let's get together, form a club, we all like cars. Well, in my case, my husband likes cars and I support his hobby. But, we all decided to get together and we said, let's form a club. Never did we think that it would grow into what it is today, and neither did we imagine that it would reach 20 years. I think that it makes motorsports in general and just the automotive industry that much more accessible. As you know, there's a certain culture and there's a certain community. Grupo Toyota is an online community that really stretches beyond the normal, just kind of get together. Friendships, families, everything is formed here, and that really extends. And so I think when, for example, we have a group that they really are into motorsports and they race actively and they all support each other. And there's also a group that does sounds, and then there are groups that that do setups, so I mean it's a community that's very supportive in every way for both their hobby and for their personal life as well.
We've been a long-time partner rin of Grupo Toyota. So we support Grupo Toyota. So kami, ang importance namin dito kasi all of the products of Parts Pro matches also the car club. So what do I mean? From brake pads to rotors to as simple as busina, wipers, diba? Pabango. We have it. That's why it's important for us to join events like this with Grupo Toyota kasi at least yung clientele eksakto talaga siya. I'm very happy kasi again, Grupo Toyota is very different. It's very family-oriented. So just like how we do business, wherein all of our customers we treat fairly as family. So basically guys, We are partspro.ph. Look for us on our website, partspro.ph. We are on all socials, partspro.ph. You can watch us also on YouTube with our builds and our races. So please follow the socials, watch us there, and order online. Thank you.
Join us at our Facebook page. Our official Facebook page is GTPH. Our Facebook group is Grupo Toyota. Everybody is welcome, actually, whether you have a car or not.
And that does it for our coverage of Grupo Toyota's 20th anniversary week. Be sure to check us out next week for more race weekend action. Grupo Toyota has grown to be one of the biggest groups of Toyota and motorsports enthusiasts in the country, with members who are fun and helpful. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. We'll be back after this short break.
Isuzu D-Max.
I'm a revolution.
Into new heights.
Our Car of the Week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. Looking for an affordable, comfortable, and reliable passenger van? Let's check out one possible option, the Maxus V80 Comfort, in this edition of Showcase.
Maxus is a British brand with a legacy of building affordable and reliable cargo and passenger vans. Taken over by SAIC, Shanghai Automobile and Industrial Corporation, China's largest automotive manufacturing group, Maxus continues the legacy of offering vans for passengers or cargo, well loved in many parts of the world. Since 2019, Maxus has been looking to include the Philippines among markets that love its vans. Among its van offerings is the Maxus V80 Comfort. At 4,950mm long, 1,998mm wide, and 2,132mm tall, the Maxus V80 is among the larger, wider, and taller options in its segment. The V80 Comfort also has, at 3,100mm, among the longest wheelbase in the segment and price position Maxus chose for the 13-seater passenger van. Despite featuring the classic rectangular box and short nose look for vans, the V80 manages to cut a distinctive presence on the road with a design that serves both function and elegant aesthetic. The front windshield is expansive, the front door windows, already with a low belt line, also slope downward. The power-adjustable side view mirrors are large and come with blind spot views. All these help provide good all-around visibility for the driver. The sharp-looking halogen headlights are large and come integrated with daylight running lights and turn lamps. Also helping provide good visibility at night are front and rear fog lamps. The stepboard automatically extends outward when a door is slid open for easier ingress into the V80, which sits relatively high off the ground. The V80 cabin is among the roomiest in its segment, offering more than enough space for 13 full-size adults including driver. The seats are well cushioned and upholstered in soft fabric. Up front is a driver's seat that manually adjusts 8 ways and comes with an armrest, and 2 passenger seats with good elbow and leg room. On the second row are 3 individual seats that recline individually. The third row also features 3 seats that recline individually, one on the right separated by a narrow aisle from 2 continuous ones on the left. The aisle allows easy passage into the fourth row with individual seats for 4 that also recline. All passengers have enough room to stretch legs underneath the seats in front of them. There's good space for luggage and other cargo can be slid underneath the fourth row seats. The backrest of the fourth row seats also fold to provide space for more cargo. The instrument cluster is found at the center of the dashboard. Also found in the center are the manual rotary controls for the air conditioning system that features lots of air vents for the rear passengers. The V80 also comes with an audio system with a radio tuner, aux-in and USB port, Bluetooth connection, and plays through 4 speakers. Underneath the short hood of the Maxus V80 is a 2,499cc 4-cylinder Turbo CRDI diesel engine that generates a maximum of 136 horsepower at 3,800 revolutions per minute and 330 Nm of torque from 1,800 to 2,600 RPM. The engine is mounted transversely and sends power to the front wheels via a 6-speed manual transmission. Having the instrument cluster in the center takes a bit of getting used to, but the low dashboard and high seat position provide great visibility of the road. The manual shifter is well placed on the dashboard just to the right of the steering wheel. The 4-spoke steering wheel is angled like those for large trucks, but a comfortable driving position is easily found with the 8-way adjustable driver's seat. Front-wheel drive makes the V80 quite nimble and easy to maneuver for a van of its size, helped along by the hydraulic power-assisted steering. The suspension system features front McPherson struts and independent parallel leaf springs in the rear and tuned for more comfort. More than adequate stopping power comes from a brake system using discs on all 4 wheels and ventilated in front. The V80 also comes with anti-lock brake system and electronic brake force distribution. For safety, the V80 Comfort is equipped with driver and front seat airbags, 3-point seat belts for driver and front seat passengers, and 2-point seat belts for those in the rear seats. Added for security is an immobilizer.
While the Maxus V80 Comfort does not have many of the modern-day driver assist and safety features found in some of its competition, it has enough at its price point to still be considered one of the best value-for-money passenger vans in the market. That's our featured vehicle in this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry takes center stage.
Kia Philippines has added 2 more dealerships to its network, Kia Otis and Kia Marikina, both under the management of AutoHub Group, the 43rd and 44th members of Kia's growing local network. Kia Otis and Kia Marikina are strategically located and feature the South Korean's brand new look. Kia Otis is located along President Quirino Avenue Extension in Paco, Manila, while Kia Marikina is easily accessible along A. Bonifacio Avenue, Loyola Subdivision, Barangka, Marikina City. Kia Philippines President Manny Aligada is confident that under the experienced management of the AutoHub Group, the new dealerships will bring more joy to Kia customers, offering next-level service thanks to their very convenient locations and comfortable facilities. In adding Kia to AutoHub's multi-brand dealership, AutoHub Group President Wheeler T10 said Kia has shown strong growth and massive potential while fitting in perfectly in the group's portfolio of trusted car brands. A new outlet for Hyundai will also soon rise in Bacoor, Cavite. Already, ground has been broken for the construction of Hyundai Bacoor, a new dealership will be managed and operated by the Borromeo Motoring Group. Hyundai Bacoor will rise along Molina Boulevard in Barangay Mambong and shall feature the new Hyundai Global Dealership Space Identity. It is scheduled to open in the second quarter of 2024. Chevrolet Makati celebrated the arrival of new members of the lineup of North American models now available locally. During the celebration, the Chevrolet Makati showroom exhibited the Camaro 3LT RS and Tahoe High Country while putting the 2023 Corvette C8 on a spotlight. At the celebration of the world-class Chevrolet, the League of North American Chevys, the Covenant Car Company Inc., Chevrolet Philippines President and CEO Attorney Albert B. Arcila announced that the market can look forward to a steadier supply of Chevys like the Suburban, the Camaro, and the Tahoe. All will come with TCCCI's signature 5-year warranty, he said. Changan Auto unveiled the vast ocean plan to develop its overseas market during the recently concluded Automotive Industry Exhibition in Shanghai, China. The plan calls for launching 30 global products in 3,000 new overseas outlets by 2025 as part of a strategy to branch farther into Europe, the Americas, Middle East and Africa, Asia Pacific, and the Commonwealth of Independent States. By 2030, Changan aims to exceed the target of selling 1.2 million units annually worldwide, adding 10,000 employees to its overseas teams and partners while transforming into what it calls an intelligent low-carbon travel technology company. Changan manifested this vision during the Shanghai Motor, showcasing the company's full range of new energy products, including the S7, SL03, UniV IDD, UniK IDD, Z6 IDD, and Lumen. Changan Motor Philippines Inc. is committed to drive and support the global brand's vast ocean plan.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 36th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa.
Happy motoring!